Good evening, my friends. I'm Dr. Claude Porras. We are going to talk about genius. It's not easy, I can tell. You need courage, character, and a lot of fun. Let's see Dr. Duggan's lecture. And do you have what it takes? My pleasure.
Because of geniuses, you can wake up every day and brush your teeth with clean water, flip on your coffee machine, and fire up your laptop. Because of geniuses, you have songs to dance to, stories to love, paintings to admire, and architecture to marvel at. Because of geniuses, you are not a slave or a helpless subject of a crazed or incompetent monarch, but a sovereign individual free to pursue your own happiness. But many people have a fundamental misunderstanding about genius.
Are born with the seed of genius within them. This I really like and I agree with. Through observation, study, and practice, attention and intention, genius manifests itself. From an article first published in the magazine that you all subscribe to, National Enquirer. And we have the exclusive rights to use these 24 characteristics. So, number one, drive. What I really like about these is each one of these now will give us a little line as to how we can activate this characteristic. A strong desire to work hard and long. They're willing to give all they've got to a project. Develop your drive by focusing on your future success and keep going. Courage. It takes courage to do things others consider impossible. Stop worrying what people will think if you are different. As long as you're comfortable with what you're doing, that a lot of people lead their life on what I call the basis of authority. What do the authorities say? What should I do? Well, what do people think I should do? Then I go off and do what they think I should do. Not that that's totally wrong, but what do you think you should do? What's right for you? What do you find really interesting? Where do you feel you could engage yourself and make a difference for the better? That is significant. So this little cat. Now, come on. I don't even know if I'd walk in front of all those German shepherds. Devotion to goals. Geniuses know what they want and go after it. So have a goal in mind. What is it you'd like to produce? What effect would you like to create? Because effects are being created on you. You go make it happen. Struggle on it. Overcome your fears. Smile. Don't forget, this is your dream. Knowledge. Knowledge is key because knowledge is the data accumulated in a way that you feel good about it and comfortable with it and certain about it, and you're going to give it a try. It is with knowledge that geniuses are frank, forthright, and honest. They take responsibility for things that go wrong. Be willing to admit I goofed and learn from your mistakes. So there's humility in honesty, but there's also in honesty, there's empowerment because you know yourself, I didn't really know about that. I made a mistake on that. Now, what do I now need to do to correct that mistake? Optimism. Geniuses never doubt they will succeed. Deliberately focus your mind on something good coming up. So one thing I will say here, the people here have never wavered that the work we're doing is work that's worthwhile. That we all know with certainty. Is it going to be better than anything that's ever occurred? You know, that we don't know. We've got to work each day to strive to make it that. There's certain things that you don't know. Is the stock going to 1,000 someday? I don't know. But is this work worth doing? That I do know. Yes, it is. And can we collectively put our attention on this work and improve on it day by day, week by week? Yes, we can. Ability to judge. Try to understand the facts of the situation before you judge. This is one of the biggest areas that I work on to improve because I'm quick to make up my mind on something. And I've realized here, let's really examine the facts. Am I dealing and operating based on opinion, which may or may not be true? Or am I dealing on fact? What's the fact? Something that when you inspect, you can find that it's really there and it's true. Enthusiasm. Geniuses are so excited about what they are doing, it encourages others to cooperate with them. Really believe that things will turn out well. Don't hold back. So if you have your goal, if you are optimistic, you know you can work and produce in abundance. If you're willing to sacrifice and work hard, why wouldn't you be enthusiastic? Because you really think, I can get this done. I think we can make it go right. Willingness to take chances. Overcome your fear of failure. You won't be afraid to take chances once you realize you can learn from your mistakes. So a chance is like, I'd really like to turn this into a very successful company. Okay, then we have to do something that counts for people. So what are we going to do that counts for people? Well, let's make something they need. What do they need? Well, in cancer, honestly, it's kind of an ugly treatment, cancer, 5, 6 years ago, 10, 15 years ago. You get hurt at the same time I'm telling you I'm going to help you, and you can suffer from cancer therapy. What if we turned that around? What if we took the hurt out and just put the help in? Oh, no one's ever done that. Okay, right away. They're saying, you're going to fail too. You're going straight down a 100-foot drop in a raft here, and no one on the raft can swim. That's really dangerous. So, but you have to say, is it worth doing? So what if we fail? Is it worth doing? Dynamic energy. Don't sit on your butt waiting for something good to happen. Be determined to make it happen. And Jordan, some people want it to happen, pretty much everybody. Some people wish it would happen, pretty much everybody. And others make it happen. What's the difference? Just the courage, the heart, the dynamic drive, the enthusiasm. These are the characters of genius that you are innate inside of you that you can use and bring them out. They're tools that you can use. Now, if you were a contractor and you had a whole tool set and you were building houses by hand, then I later told you had all this electronic powered tools. God, why didn't you tell me before I started on the house? You know, these tools are sitting here. They're in everyone. They're in geniuses are opportunity seekers. So you look at where, as Wayne Gretzky either said, go to where that puck's going. I mean, where it's at, everybody's going where it's at. But go to where that thing is going to go, and you may be the only person there. Go for the opportunity. Never be afraid to try the unknown. That's life's excitement. The unknown, terra incognita, the world unknown. That's where the excitement is. What's that going to be like? Well, look and see. Outgoingness. I found that geniuses are able to make friends easily and be easy on their friends. To communicate. Geniuses are able to effectively get their ideas across to others. And that's what communication is, definition one. Impart knowledge of or make known to. So there's an important point. Knowledge is something that you know and you're certain about. Your opinions are very valuable. But always say, in my opinion, we should do this. Or, I know this is the way to do it. I've read the manual and read the book, and I've done it 10 times, and that's the way it works. You're doing a lab experiment. That's a different thing than to say, I think you might want to try this. Let people know. Be patient. Be patient with others most of the time, but always be impatient with yourself. Expect far more of yourself than you do of others. So you set a good example, you have a right to go to another individual and say, is there a little more you can do? Geniuses have their mental radar working full time. Think more of others' needs and wants than you do of your own. That's the Sam Walton, a willingness to serve others. So what does the other person need? You fulfill the other person, that puts fruit on your tree. You don't have to put your attention on money. Put your attention on service to others. The money will come. Perfection. Geniuses cannot tolerate mediocrity, particularly in themselves. Definition of perfection: a personal standard, an attitude, or a philosophy that demands perfection and rejects anything else. I'm so proud of our entire CMC and our chemistry area. We've all adopted a viewpoint, 100% to spec, 100% to spec. Why do we do that? Because if you go 99.5, that little 0.5 could be the thing that makes you look like a total failure. Maybe not the easiest guy to be with at all times, but boy, did he have high ideals. Boy, did he have perfection. Get this right. Get it done. Do it correct. Sense of humor. Be willing to laugh at your own expense. Don't take offense when the joke is on you. Please, God, if you can't make me thin, make my friends fat. One way or another, level the playing. This is really an awesome one. The more things you learn to accomplish, the more confidence you will develop. Don't shy away from new endeavors. So some of you there, had heard about Paul Stoffels. He's an unbelievable drug researcher, drug developer, and doctor. But people didn't know that he could play the piano. So he got on the piano and played some notes, and then he played a honky-tonk sound. It's like, wow, this guy's versatile. And, we really, in this company, owe a lot to him and love him a lot. You're going to do. Well, how do you do that? Well, say you're going to do things that you really know you can do. Don't set expectations out there for others that you go, I don't even know if I can do this. You can always say, I'm going to try to do that. Adaptability. Being flexible enables you to adapt to changing circumstances readily. Resist doing things the same old way. Be willing to consider new options. Look at the world of phones back when some of you were just little babies. They had little holes in a dial, and you ring it up, you'd listen, there'd be a ring on the other end, go get hello. And if it's way back in the very old days of your grandparents, it would be Jane would answer, yes, Mr. Dokes, what do you want? Jane, I want to be connected. Now, this little thing's turned into a computer. I mean, a phone is just one little thing that it does. Now, who's calling, when they called, what was said, you can record it, you can videotape it, and you can go out and find, what's their background? I got a call from Jim Smith. Who is he? Oh, Jim Smith, Google him. Oh my God, he's really a great guy. And all these things that a phone can now do because somebody had the insight and the intelligence and the genius characteristics. Say, let's take it in that direction. So phones have now become indispensable. You have a relationship with your phone. You like the feel of the glass, the way it looks, the round. It's like, that's part of you now. What would you do without it? I don't wear a watch anymore because my phone's my watches. They're so great. It's my alarm clock. It's everything. I love my phone. An inquisitive, curious mind will help you seek out new information. Don't be afraid to admit you don't know it all. Ask questions about things you don't understand. Definition of curiosity: a desire to know or learn. The derivation: curious, inquisitive, curiosity, to care. Who really knew here before we got into the etymology that the etymology of curious was to care? The word curious is a great word. It doesn't just mean you're poking your nose into someone else's business or you're asking questions you shouldn't be asking. It means you care. The essence of curiosity is to care. So that's a beautiful word. So always acknowledge someone in your space that's curious. Your kids, your friends, your family, those you work with. Thank them for being so curious, because they're manifesting that they care. Individualism: do things the way you think they should be done without fearing somebody's disapproval. So if you've done your work, you've done your study, you've really examined, you're not operating on prejudice, and you think that the party's that way, you're the goldfish, then go for it. Just be sure you're right. Actually, idealism: keep your feet on the ground. So you've got to stay real in life, but have your head in the clouds. You've got to stay surreal also. You got to be thinking of that future. That's not what the ground is made of. The unknown, that's not the ground. The ground is the known. The unknown is out there. It will become the ground. The space that we don't know, the moon, will get there eventually. But not if you don't postulate that or think big about that. Strive to achieve great things, not just for yourself, but for the betterment of mankind. Imagination. Geniuses know how to think in new combinations, see things from a different perspective. Well, how do I do that? Well, I could just, I'm going to lose the camera here, but I could just come over here and look at it this way. See, that's just a different perspective. It's just, what point of view do you have? Know your point of view and go, oh, what point of view do you have? Let's discuss it. Let me look at it from your point of view. The preview of life's coming attractions. So make your own movies at night, Imagine, what might I be able to do when I make that footprint that I was truly here?
So, this is not for everybody. Not all the open eyes can watch, and not all the closed eyes are asleep. With a cup of wine, enjoy your freedom. We can drive this world. The New World Order does not go. We are smarter than them. My pleasure. Who's going to join me?